Tony is a 78-year-old architect who recently retired. He lives with his wife, Sonia. A few months ago, Tony developed depression with psychosis. He had delusions of poverty, guilt, and auditory hallucinations, alongside weight loss, amotivation, and social withdrawal. This was Tony's first episode of depression. He was initially admitted to an aged care ward for management of acute kidney injury and malnutrition. Once stable, Tony was admitted to a mental health unit and responded well to medication. Despite significant improvement in Tony's depression, he remains anxious. Sonia has been closely involved in his care. Since returning home 2 months ago, Tony has been seen regularly by Mary, his case manager from the mental health service. Mary is visiting the couple at their home today. She's reviewed Tony's symptoms and is about to raise the topic of advanced care planning.
It's good to hear you're recovering well, Tony, and you're back in the garden and helping Sonia around the house. And those worries about losing the house and losing money, they seem to have gone too. And it looks like Sonia's excellent cooking has helped you get back to a healthy weight too.
I've been so lucky to have her.
It's quite scary how sick he got, really. Having no energy, lying in bed all day, hearing voices and all of that. He's much better now, but he's recovering slowly.
Well, yes, I can understand that. Our team have seen him several times now since he's been home, and I can see how much he's improved. In the hospital, when Tony was very sick with kidney failure and on a drip, the team raised something called advanced care planning with you.
Yeah, I vaguely recall that.
It's really about Tony expressing his preferences for his future health care, in case he's not able to take part in the discussion or make these decisions for yourself down the track, Tony. And you were too sick to get involved at the time. So now that you're almost back to yourself, I think it's an important topic to talk about. And it's good that Sonia's here to support you.
Sounds important.
I'm not sure that I really understand what this is about. I don't know that I'm really ready to make big decisions.
Well, I've brought you some booklets today, and this explains about advanced care planning, and we can talk it over. So we encourage everyone to think about the types of care and treatments that they would like to have, especially if you become very unwell and you're not able to tell us what to do, or the types of treatments you'd like to receive or avoid, especially towards the end of life when there's no chance of you recovering.
Mary, is now the best time to be discussing this? He's just got out of hospital. I don't want to be talking about death.
I understand, Sonia, don't worry, this is not a conversation about death. It's about us knowing Tony's wishes for his own healthcare treatment, so we can respect them if he becomes unwell, and he's not able to voice them for himself.
I don't want to be talking about this sort of stuff. I don't like talking about dying and death. I don't want to put ideas in Tony's head.
Actually, most people feel reassured to have these conversations, and I can understand it might seem confronting, but it's part of making sure that Tony has a kind of care that he wants in the future. And maybe I can explain a little bit more about advanced care planning, and then if it sounds like too much, we can leave it for another time.
Okay, but please don't be too negative, Mary.
Of course. Advanced care planning is a process where you consider your future healthcare needs, but it takes place when you're well. It can lead to writing an advanced care directive, which is a legal document. And this is a booklet that has some information about advanced care directives and a form that we can fill in, Tony, which outlines how far you want treatment to go if you do become very unwell in the future, and the types of treatment that you would like or want to avoid. And if we know your wishes now, this gives us a guide to your future care. And this is an important way to make sure that your wishes are respected, even when you're very sick. Is it okay to continue, Tony?
Oh, okay.
So we were talking about writing down your wishes for your future health care. Let's just talk about your health in general, Tony.
Usually my health is okay. I have high blood pressure. I got a few problems with prostate. And as you know, I've lost a lot of weight because of my depression.
Yes, you've been through a few health issues, and that's why it's good to plan ahead about your preferences for your future care. And you're essentially making a plan in advance, ahead of time. It's like a health map that we can follow.
I see. So these plans are written down just in case something goes wrong with my health, like if I have a heart attack.
That's right, that's one type of scenario, yes.
I see.
Don't worry, you won't be making an advance care directive by filling out the form today, but we can start talking about some of the things that are part of it to give you an idea about what advance care planning involves. And you might want then to talk to each other and to your sons to try and make some decisions to help you. And we can start here. Do you know about CPR and resuscitation?
I've heard of it.
Yeah? Well, in the event your heart stops or you stop breathing, would you like to be resuscitated or receive CPR?
No, I don't see the point.
Why is that?
My doctor told us that people rarely survive a CPR, and some of the people that do actually survive, they have brain damage because of the heart stopping or the lack of oxygen, and I wouldn't want to end up as a vegetable.
Well, in that case, you would actually tick this box here.
So what would happen if I tick no?
Well, if you ever become sick in the future, your doctors would speak to your family and maybe your GP. And they could tell your doctors that you have an advance care directive, and the doctors would look at it and they would see that you don't want CPR. So this is a record of your wishes for your care if you become very ill. And that's why it's good to do it when you're feeling better and you can think it through.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's good to know what Tony wants before he gets sick again, touch wood. We've never really spoken about it. We had to make a lot of decisions when he was in hospital, and I really wouldn't want to do that again. It was very stressful. I think it would be good to know what Tony's wishes were before he got sick again.
Exactly. Advanced care planning also includes thinking about where you'd want to receive care and at what kind of intensity. For example, people who are really unwell may need intensive care in the ICU, and this could involve machines to artificially keep your heart, lungs or kidneys working. What are your thoughts, Tony, about whether you'd like to receive life support for your breathing or dialysis if your kidneys fail?
I'm not sure. Maybe. I know that I want to be around for Sonia, but I don't want doctors to keep me alive if I can't recover. I wouldn't want them to waste their time on me. What do you think? I don't know what to do.
I can see this might be upsetting you, and these kinds of decisions are hard at the moment, and you're a bit more worried than usual. And I think that might be the depression still affecting you.
Maybe. I feel everything's so complicated at the moment, and I'm afraid of saying the wrong thing. I do want to get better, but I don't feel that I will if I say the wrong thing now.
Oh dear. He'll be worried about this now.
Okay, let's just leave the advanced care directive form for now, and we can discuss it again when you're feeling a bit better. Sonia, how about I leave this booklet with you so you can get a better idea of what's involved?
Sure, Mary. Thank you. I'll read that later. It's good to talk about it. When Tony recovers, it will be good for him to make decisions about his health care. It will be empowering, but maybe not now. Maybe when you're a bit better.
Of course. The focus now is for you to get better, Tony. We're almost there with the depression. I just thought I would bring this up, something for you to think about, especially considering how unwell you were just a few months ago. Do either of you have any more questions?
Yes, I do. What if I don't agree with Tony's wishes?
Well, if the discussion progresses to writing an advanced care directive, whatever Tony decides to write down or endorse, these will be followed as his written preferences, and it will be used to guide his future treatment.
Okay. Well, what if he fills one in, then gets better? Can he then go and tell the doctor what his wishes are?
Well, if someone can think clearly and voice their preferences, an advanced care directive is not needed. It's only used if the person's seriously unwell and cannot make their own decisions.
Okay, that makes sense.
So have a read of the booklet, Sonia, and the next visit I can check in again and see how you're going with the depression and anxiety, Tony. And you can ask me any questions you might have on advanced care planning.
Okay.